Emergency leaders here expect wide-scale damage for days because you can see where the storm is headed. Georgia's state of emergency means all hands on deck right now. Atlanta News First reporter Abby Kasuris is at the Georgia Emergency Management Agency in Atlanta. So, Abby, what's next for these crews?
We just received a briefing, and Georgia's Emergency Management Agency Director Chris Stallings saying he doesn't really have any good news for us. This storm is intensifying, expecting more rain and even more winds. Georgia Governor Brian Kemp issuing that state of emergency yesterday, and now here at GEMA headquarters, their state operations center is now running. They're still working on plans to figure out where crews should be positioned tonight so that they can respond before, during, and after the storm.
But that timeline has been sped up for everybody. So essentially, you've got tomorrow to prep. After tomorrow, you need to be able to shelter and hunker in place.
Georgia Emergency Management Agency Director Chris Stallings says they're expecting widespread damage and power outages for millions of Georgians. Repairs could take days. He says Georgians in the storm's path should prepare to be without power for at least 3 days.
I think we're going to see some significant power outages, probably nothing like we've seen because it's 159 counties wide.
This storm is big and it's fast. Georgia Power says their crews are waiting to deploy, stationed at headquarters until given official orders on Thursday. Spokesperson Matthew Kent says upgrades to the power grid allow for operators in Atlanta to correct power outages through a self-healing process.
If you have a square of grid and one side of that is down, we may be able to redirect the power to the other sides of that grid.
Georgia Power employs drone operators that use infrared technology to give their crews a bird's eye view of the damage. They can cover more ground this way. They warn never touch or drive over a downed power line, yet people still do.
So if someone sees a tree on a power line, they can report that on our outage map, and it gives us that little bit of information so that we can go out into the field prepared.
At Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport, it's business as usual, despite the clouds hanging overhead. Pilots learn how to fly in the rain, but hurricane-force winds could ground flights. They warn people to check for flight updates online if they're flying on Thursday or Friday.
Right now, we're not seeing a lot of published cancellations or delays here for arrivals or departures to Atlanta. I think that'll come into focus a little bit more in the coming hours.
And back here at GEMA headquarters, they're expecting that they're going to have to work well into the weekend and even in the coming weeks for some of the response. This is the place for the state's response and recovery efforts. Live tonight in Atlanta, Abby Kasuris, Atlanta News First.